Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and President Donald Trump has just accomplished something conservatives have dreamed about for decades. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. You know, most of the mainstream media is biased in one form or another, and some do a better job of hiding it than others, but for decades, one media outlet has stood above the rest in terms of dishing out liberal propaganda, as far as I'm concerned, every single day. And the worst part about it is they're not self-funded. It's one thing if MSNBC wants to put out liberal propaganda all day, they're paying for it themselves. They're getting commercials, they got sponsors, they're paying for it themselves. But when the Corporation for Public Broadcasting takes your money, your tax dollars, and produces liberal propaganda with it, that's criminal. And President Donald Trump has brought them to their knees, ladies and gentlemen, to their knees. How'd he do it, you might ask? Well, we, the Republicans, along with President Donald Trump, cut off a large portion of the funding for that particular organization, and now they've announced that they're going to have to go out of business. Now, what I'm going to do is play the world's smallest violin for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Your propaganda can continue if you want to. If the people out there are willing to fund it, if the liberals are willing to pick up the phone and pledge, you guys do 10 pledge drives a year, I think. If they're willing to pick up the phone and pledge, they can keep you in business. They can keep you in business, but what you can't do is you can't do it with our money anymore. I want you guys to watch this and let me know what you think in the comments.
5%. She didn't mention any of that. Meantime, Isabel, to you, the New York Post headline reads the following, quoting here, Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which funds PBS, NPR to close after federal aid cut. And this course comes after Congress pulled billions in funding from PBS and NPR. It means that maybe some of the small stations in small markets are going to have a struggle kind of staying afloat. The big stations are going to be fine, but they're going to have to find other funding somewhere.
They are, absolutely. And this is really coming and is indicative of a systematic change in American culture and politics, where for the third year in a row, Americans distrust the legacy media more than they trust legacy media, particularly newspapers and television. 36% of Americans have record low trust in media institutions, which says a whole lot, particularly with what we were just talking about, with a large portion of American politics and the Democrat Party lacking any sort of ideological foundation or moral compass when everything is up in the air. And yet these outlets, including state-sponsored propaganda outlets paid for by your tax dollars, are committed to upholding whatever nonsense the left is trying to put in front of the American people. Everything from Sharia law being championed in communities in Texas to legitimate socialism in places like Minneapolis and New York City. It's hardly surprising that the American people are looking for a trusted voice to emerge that they can have confidence in again.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very fair assessment. Meantime, you have Newsbusters writing the following, quoting here, on Thursday, Senator Chuck Grassley made headlines